What's good, friendly ghosts? Welcome back to the stage of history. And we're back with some RPG Maker 3. This is me coming to you from the future once again. Mike has been trashed from making some edits, and hopefully I'm getting the right, conjunctions and getting it going on. So this is RPG Maker 3, the project I've been working on, Criteria Fight RPG. This is an RPG I made, which is based mostly about the fighting combat, trying to make, interactions within the combat very interesting and like puzzle based and making it its own thing. When people make RPG Maker 3 games, they don't really focus on the combat all that much. So this was my main focus. The combat is everything. So this is a combined edit of a lot of adjustments that I've been making over the past month or two. And just continuing the game, you're going to see a lot of cuts. This is a mini game I put in, which is it's really janky, but it's a way to collect money. You have to like try to find the right pieces to collect the right proper amount of weeds, and you collect money for picking weeds, and if you don't pick the weeds, you get less money. It didn't turn out the way I wanted it to turn out because it's missing a specific element to it. But in a way, it's turned into like a life of its own when it's unpredictable, but it works, and that's the most important thing. And showing off some NPCs. We're just trying to make it come a bit more to life. I find it interesting in including NPCs. Is like my main approach is if I include something, I want it to be important. I don't want just a random NPC just for the heck of it. That NPC, I want them to be valuable in some way. So all the NPCs I put in have some sort of value. This one sells you like information and secrets and maps. I put in a map. It's a real ghetto looking map. It's done with text. What's it called? ACCSRI or something like that. It's all text written, but it's better than nothing. With NPCs, I like to focus mostly on having a value to them, and it kind of makes them more memorable to me. That's what I'm thinking right now. And this is tracing it back to The Last of Us 2 real quick. One of my biggest gripes about that game is none of the characters seem interesting, and like there's one character in the game that only says like 2 lines of dialogue for like a span of 8 hours, and you're supposed to care when something big happens in relation to them. And it's like they try so hard like the last minute to make you try to care for them, but it just falls flat for me. And I made the connection that I would care more about like a random NPC. Let's say that it was a trading lady who trades valuables to the players in the game, and let's say that they have children or grandchildren or something like that, and then something bad happens to them. I would care more about that NPC because they have some sort of value, and in relation to me, there's a connection there. Is at least that NPC is not being nothing. I care a little bit because they are providing something to my experience, And here's a boss fight. This entire video is going to be boss fights. So in my game, combat's the main focus. Just picking a random attack isn't going to get you anywhere in my game. You have to specifically target the weak points of the enemy. Otherwise, you're going to get lit up like this. But fortunately, I have a build going. This is also a build your own character game. There's a lot of things going on here. So I have a certain build that revives her. So you have to figure out the opponent's weaknesses, and you have to kill them before they kill you, because they will kill you. This is chapter 2 in particular is really, really hard. It's really hard. This boss right here was kicking my butt. It was kicking my butt left and right, and I lied to you not. This took me like an hour alone trying to beat this guy, but each fight lasted about 4 minutes. The snake and the demon thing behind him is really tough, because the snake always poisons you because it gets the first turn. I mean, it doesn't poison, it slows you down, and this character that I have sees weak to being slowed, so anything that has a chance of slowing her always slows her. So he slows me up, and then they just start comboing me left and right, and I'm just playing to catch up the entire time. So what's showing right here is I have active boss fights in chapter 2, where a boss fight is activated based on a specific time and specific event where you are on the world map. Now before, it was just you fight this active boss, and if you lose, you get revived with 1 HP. It's just there to screw you over. But I added an extra layer, so if you lose now to this random boss, to this active boss fight on the field map, now you get a status effect that really disables you, and it makes it much more likely that you're going to get a game over, because you're about to see right here, you get cursed. And what curse does is it limits all of your skill based moves that you can no longer use as long as you're on the world map. So, yeah, this is a real bummer, because now you can't prevent random encounters, and you have to kind of run for a lot of the encounters in chapter 2, because they're going to mess you up. There is a way to deactivate it, but I didn't include it in this part of the video. I have like 3 different versions that I've edited into this video. Skills, I have to just run away and hope that I get lucky and try to make it either to the base where I could leave the area, and try to put my encounter thing up, or just try to make it out. And this is me making the right moves to accord for that. Also, before I forget, I was making another game, another RPG maker game. I only have 3 slots, so this is going to be the last one I make. And I wanted to make it like with the audience. If there was an audience, I would be willing to make it with them. And the main thing I wanted to make was a survival horror game. I wanted to make my own Resident Evil knockoff, let's just say. So that I already have the ideas in place, and I already made a couple enemies and the characters and their stats and a map. But I'm still very, very much at the beginning surfaces of it. I haven't even really gotten off track. So I got a partner here. This little trick still got the first turn. Killed her, ruined my entire plan. This fight is really tough, but I actually managed to take him out. Wow. Okay, so I took out the the Cobra. And yeah, here's another neat thing. I have like these items that are kind of like trap cards in Yu-Gi-Oh, where they activate based on a certain requirement. So they activate themselves based on requirements that you meet. In this case, is MP. Now, she has a recovery move that in her skill tree that I unlocked. It's relatively useless because it costs so much and heals so little, but in this case, I needed it because it gets rid of all my NP, and that little heal of 2 turns into basically a full heal because it activates, the trap cards that keeps giving me heals as long as my NP is down. So there's like little layers like this that add a neat layer of depth in a case where I would have been KO'd immediately. Now I still have a fighting chance. So there's a lot of things like this. And also I snuck it in real quick about how there are skill trees. There's 4 different skill trees for a total of 8 unlockable maneuvers that you can get throughout the game. One is, and I still lost the fight, so it doesn't really matter. Yeah, one is like the basic, the small move. Then the second one is like a middle move. The third one is like a big move, and the fourth one is like a super big move. And after you clear out the 4 skill trees, you have an opportunity to go back, But in order to get that, you have to like beat specific bosses in chapter 1 and some in chapter 2. So I'm going back to this fight. I'm getting my butt kicked. I'm trying to finish this game. I've been trying to finish this game for a while. I'm trying to beat it. But I adapted a new strategy here. I gave her an agility boost. So now she got the first turn, and I've been able to make preparations. I put up a guard that prevents her from being slowed. And now I'm just wailing on them. And then watch this. Too sweet. Activated the trap card. This is a big trap card. You know, and that's basically game, assuming I don't get hit. So yeah, it's fun playing this because there's so many variables and alternative ways that you could go about approaching each fight. But there is a specific way that you have to play in order to take down specific enemies. But I like the variety so far. And I also, one of the biggest things that I've added that you won't see until much later is I finished adding all the companions that you can get, which means I had to finish adding side quests that are available. And here she's just popping off because you know, the MP was down. But I finally beat it. Yeah, mission accomplished. Mission done. So yeah, hopefully all you guys have been doing relatively decent. Some new games that come out. Ghost of Tsushima. I had an eye out on that one, but I gotta be honest, I wasn't interested. I was trying to get interested in Ghost of Tsushima and trying to convince myself I should buy it and play it, but I just couldn't bring myself to it because, you know, I've seen a lot of people saying that the combat is not up to par to what they prefer. That was my opinion before I even, you know, the first time I saw the game, like, what was it, 2017? That was my opinion back then, and it's still the same right now. I'm not really too keen on what I'm seeing. So, until I can be convinced otherwise, and I don't think that's going to happen, I'm just not really interested in it. But some people are really liking it, and you know, hopefully it's a good game. Hopefully you guys are enjoying that, if that's what you like. You know, I just don't think that, I don't know, I guess I just grown out a specific type. I don't know if it's, I don't know, it's kind of hard to call, but I'm just not feeling it. Alright. Yeah, I also added a decent amount of cutscenes, or whatever you would call whatever just happened. Man, there's so much more that I would like to add to this, that my percentage is literally like 99.7 or 8%. It was 99.9, and I was like deleting stuff to add stuff, and I'm deleting stuff to add stuff, and I try to add too much, and it's like, you don't have enough memory to save this. And it won't let me, you know, save the changes I made. So I have to delete it. I'm like, oh, this is so BS. You know, I just wrote like 4 freaking paragraphs, and, you know, add all this cool details and sound effects, and I have to delete it now. And, you know, so there's a lot of going back and forth with that, with trying to get the proper data usage. So yeah, here's another side quest that I went back to do. Is a tournament that allows you to unlock specific things that I just added recently. So yeah, the new game I wanted to make is going to be a survival horror themed game. I'm kind of wondering how I could pull that off with RPG Maker 3. That's going to be real interesting. But I'm positive that I could pull it off to some degree. I don't want it to be like a big fighting, you know, based thing like this. I want to get real creative with my approach. You know, all enemies aren't going to be fought in the battle system. a lot of it's going to be more strategic and on in the map, event based. You ran over a trap, would you like to activate this trap wire on the zombie chasing you, blah 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 blah. I'm gonna do like a lot of weird stuff like that. And of course I'm gonna have the battle system looking just right. It's gonna be shorter, not as long or as crazy like this one, but it's gonna be enough to get by. I think the main approach that I would have to take for a survival horror RPG game is each battle has to be the proper amount. They can't be too short, they can't be too long. They have to be a right in between sweet spot. And also supplies have to be extremely desired. Supplies have to be extremely desired. I have to make supplies part of the game journey and part of the, it has to be it has to play a big role. And also has to play a big role is the danger of when you don't have supplies and the sense and need to get supplies. Like, there can't be any easy way out. You have to, just gotta be no ways to recover your supplies. You have to travel to get your stuff. I'm gonna have to have travel based, not travel based. I have to have a location based storage system, which I've done that before. I'm gonna have that and a lot more bigger dosages. I also, in relation to the map, one thing that I haven't really done is make it feel like the world is like huge enough and connected enough in a way. Like, I don't know if that sounds like the way I want it to sound, but like in this one I want to have like a specific like islands that you could travel from, like this island and travel to the next island, but they're like being like entirely different maps. And they're like each island having its own ecosystem and its own economy. I guess that's the word I want. It has to have like a bigger focus on economy, and I guess there's also another approach that I have to consider about taking. Excuse me. Is, do I want to have like hordes that you have to fight off, or do I want it to be random encounter based? Do I want it to be like events based on where you cross at a certain time? I need to make it feel alive. Like, it can't always be the same thing every single time that you play. Or at least it has to have at least some sort of differentiation, like time based, action based. It has to be something to that nature. So in this tournament, it's just fighting, trying to get the proper thing. I'm trying to boost her up. My teammate, she gets knocked down by a little trick in the back. So I'm having to fight this one-on-one, and it's not looking too pretty. In this tournament, you have to win 2 rounds in each preliminary round. You have to win 2 matches in each preliminary round to advance. So I've lost 1, and there's only 4 matches. So I gotta win this one. This is like the second to last one, because I'm not sure if I'm gonna win the last one. I have to win this one. So I only have 3 HP to work with, and I'm in a 2v1 situation. I have a shield up. This is why the girl in front isn't attacking. So I'm trying to just hold on, and I'm trying to waste all of my MP because I have like another trap card stored. So I'm trying to waste all my MP. I'm using attacks that aren't really working just to spend it. I'm just spending the MP trying to get to my trap card. But in this game, they're based on the way that you stored them. So if you stored them in a specific order, then that's the order that they're going to activate. So there's also like a mini game within that. You have to store them and buy them in the order that you want them to be used. So in this case, I didn't have the proper order, so I got the wrong trap card to activate. So I'm not going to spend again. So I'm trying to get help. I'm pretty sure I'm trying to get help in this situation. So I'm spending again another heavy. And it's going to give me one more energy boost. And it gives me a +3. That's a good +3. And now it's giving me the HP. That's what I actually wanted the entire time. So I was spending being reckless with the energy just to get to this. Just to have a fighting chance against both of them. And this way I could use the HP to store more MP. And then I could put up another shield and then I could go on the offense. So that's another example of the layer of depth that you have to choose with. And I got lucky and I got a full HP off of it. I got that +2. So yeah, there's a lot of funky, cool stuff you could do with it. And trying to break this game is the funnest thing for me. Like, it could be because I'm just like a proud father. It could because I made this. It's like my precious baby, but it's also it's strangely fun trying to, like, I want to break it. I want to break it and just be OP, and I can't. At least I've struggled, or at least maybe I just haven't played it enough to find the right combinations. But I'm really wanting to do that. Like, every time I boot it up, I'm like, oh, there's got to be some secret set I could pull off and that just wreck everything. So yeah, I got the shield up again. And I believe what I think I'm going to do, I'm going to charge up again. I'm going to use a power up on her magic, and then I'm just going to wreak havoc. I remember seeing this one. Again, watching this in Windows Movie Maker, the most reliable way to watch anything, of course. It doesn't lag or slow down at all. It doesn't corrupt your memories. You know, never. Oh, shoot, a poison. Yeah, this game is like, oh, it's always something that's going to give you trouble. Oh, look at that. Damn, a 2-for-1 knockout. So that's 2 wins. That's an advance into the next round. And I believe, damn, I think this, like, the next 20 or so minutes is going to be just this tournament, because I think I've had a lot of trouble with it. Let's revive, and I skipped ahead into this is my favorite one. I skipped ahead to this one because it's like a battle royal that I included, and it's treated as such, but it's more like a team elimination match. You only have 4 characters in each battle, so it's a 4v4, and each round that you win, you eliminate one of your opponents, and whoever you lose when you advance, they stay down. So it's kind of creates it's kind of active in that sense, because you're trying to be you're trying to savor all your moves, all your tools that you have to work with. And I was trying to get her MP up to like 20. When she has 20 MP, she can revive like her entire team. But this freaking ninja, is too beastly. He's too fast. He's kicking my butt. So I'm gonna change my approach in this next one, I believe. And then the next one, I'm gonna like focus all on him. You know, and it's just a matter of getting the proper pattern down, and yeah, just getting the proper pattern down, knowing the enemies, knowing the proper order to take down the enemies based on your build, knowing the best way to go about taking down the enemies, and just knowing the right amount to spend and the right amount to save. So it creates an interesting dynamic in that sense. Yeah, it's a gauntlet match. So what other games came out lately other than Ghost? Deadly Premonition 2. I've only heard of that game like a year ago, but I enjoyed it. That game's kind of cool. But Deadly Premonition 2, rough. It was a little rough. It's crazy how that game came out like 10. How long did it come out? What, on Xbox 360 or something like that? And that game looks better. The original game looks better than a game that came out this week or last week. That is crazy. The game is like what, 10 years old, and the 10-year-old version of the game looks significantly better. That's absurd. And it had the frame rate, that is crazy. The game literally is like a slideshow. It's how they made the game exclusively on the Switch, exclusively on Nintendo Switch. And this is exactly why when people say, oh, please put Legend of Dragoon on Nintendo Switch, please, that's all I want in life, just do it, Sony, Nintendo. And I'm like, brother, sister, are you out of your mind? Do you know what that entails? You want them to put this game on Nintendo Switch? You want the game to go from being a hostage of Sony to being a hostage of Nintendo? Oh my god, if the Legend of Dragoon or any other project relating to that game turned out to be a Nintendo exclusive, I don't know how to code. Would I be hyped for that? Would I be, how would I feel about that? How would I feel? How do you feel about that? If LOD was a Nintendo exclusive to the Nintendo Switch, would you be happy about that? Look at Deadly Premonition 2 and then look back at me and answer, would you be happy about that long-awaited remake being a Nintendo Switch exclusive? I tell you what, I would not. By comparison's sake, no, I would not be happy about that. When you compare it, comparatively speaking, no. Like, there's so much greater waiting for it to settle for that. You know, it's like there's so much in a great grand beyond that it can be, and then there's so much little that Nintendo Switch is basically just remaster HD and makeup territory. And yeah, I beat the guy from the tournament. Eat a biscuit. That's kind of cool. I was about to call him a bitch, but it's kind of cool. Yeah, yeah, I like the music. So now that we won, this is where I collect my goods, my rewards rather. And this is where I added the ability to collect your teammates. You have to get like a badge from them. Abby the Thick. Okay, her name, Abby the Thick, does not entail anything relating to The Last of Us. Don't you dare. Like, that's not the type of thick that I would call. You know, that's not what I, you know, that's, no. That's, no. That, okay, it has no relation. That's not what, Abby is not what I would call thick. I would say girth is more the proper term to use in that regard. Girth. You know, but, you know, so this Abby I made long before that Abby. Alright, this one existed. This one is the real Abby that they don't want you to know about. This Abby is the one that has the cure for the cordyceps virus. Don't let it leak out. This is the Last of Us 3 plot. Yeah. Damn, Last of Us 2, man. You know, I don't know. I want to stay positive. You know, I don't want to be negative and talk down on a game or anything like that. I want to talk up a game. I want to. I don't necessarily want that, but I want to stay positive. I want to positively talk down or something. You know, I want to stay positive and make it fun. I don't want to just be negative. You know. I want my channel to be like a tsunami spaceship. That's like my big goal. And my main risk is just to make this like one big tsunami spaceship. Big battle coming up. So here's the championship round. Going in, grand finals. Prepare for the fight of your lives. Yeah. I don't really remember what happened here. What was I talking about? Damn, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, about I want this to be like my vision and ultimate goal for this channel is to be like this chill 90s, early 2000s tsunami spaceship and chill type of vibe. Tsunami spaceship cinema. That's like my big dream and pursuit that I want. So I'm like experimenting with OBS and trying to get like a curtain type of feeling, and just trying to make it like one big vibe. That's what I want. That's if I can achieve that, then I'm good. No. So I want to do more stuff like the Ghost in a Shell reaction that I did. Stuff like that made me feel happy. That made me feel like I'm in my element where I belong. That was that stuff. But the Last of Us one that I did, that was kind of more on the too negative side. That was overly too negative, even though I don't think like it was that negative. I don't think it was that much negative, fella, but I do think it was more negative than I like. And at least with the Ghost in the Shell one, I was negative, but I was like having fun while talking shit. And it wasn't like being that negative. It was just like having a little jab and a little fun, and just being a chill vibe. At the last, all that much of a vibe. That was much more of a let me just tell you all my problems that I got with this one. Or I didn't like it all that much. So I want to be more like the Ghost in the Shell one. That one was the vibe that I was in search for, and I want to keep doing more stuff like that, whether it's watching like anime or movies or sports, or news, listening to music, whatever. That's what I want to have more of. Like, I haven't seen Rurouni Kenshin in a long time. Yu Yu Hakusho, I've seen that relatively recently. The original Deep Dragon Ball Z, the original Toonami aired version, not the remastered, not the uncut, uncensored, not the ultimate remastered Blue Wade edition or the Kai. None of that crap. I want the original Ocean dub, transitioned into funny dub. Bruce Falconer. I want the original one, the original audio. I want all of it. So if anybody has that, let me know. Let me know that, and we'll work something out. For sure. Another one I haven't watched. How many remembers IGPX? I think that's what it's called. It's like a complete CGI Toonami exclusive show, I believe. I remember that being cool. Another one, Inuyasha. I haven't seen that in forever. I only remember like specific things about that, and that's the main characters. I know that there was one character who acted like Yamcha, and then there was another one who treated him like Yamcha. And I know that the main girl treated Inuyasha like a dog. That's all I really remember. I also remember that there was like this one chick who was like this mystery chick who was like just treated like this big mystery, and everybody was like, "Oh, is that a ghost? Oh, oh." I don't remember her name. It was like Nozomi or something, or it was some weird name. It's like every other episode it's like, "Oh, was that Nozomi? Nozomi." You know, that's what all I remember. I remember getting kind of comical and how much they tried to make her seem like this mythical creature, like June from Tekken, but only it was like every single episode. And it was like, okay, I get it, She's tough. She's kind of sick. Okay, every episode. And I strangely remember her falling off of a cliff, but I don't remember anything else. So yeah, I would kind of be interested in watching Inuyasha again. Kind of. I wouldn't say highly. Decently. So this chick is putting up quite a fight, but actually, I think we already downed her once. We just need to down her again. I just need to hit her with a physical. Eat that biscuit. Oh, she's still kicking. Yeah, she's still kicking. But I think I pretty much got this one under wraps. I was prepared from that gauntlet battle royal, and by comparison, we just outnumber her. What's another show that I would be interested in watching? I wanna watch the Blood Plus The Last Vampire. I think it's just called Blood the Last Vampire. I want to watch that movie. But the last time I tried to watch Blood Plus, it immediately got worldwide block. And I haven't tried it since because I've been too intimidated by that. It was unlisted, and it got worldwide blocked. I was like, whoa, these guys are good. Damn. Oh yeah, eat that biscuit. Damn, world champions. Just like that. This guy is too good. Are we gonna get like a sick fanfare thing? Put in the earbuds so I can hear it. Oh yeah, that's that stuff. Damn, 6 hours? 6 hours, and the thing is, I skipped through chapter 1 with debug mode, and chapter 1 is like at least 1 hour and a half without speed running. Probably 30 minutes if you speed run. Oh yeah, so Inuyasha, the Rurouni Kenshin adaptation to the Sushi arc was, I seen that a long time ago. I think I only seen the final fight though. And I remember a lot of people hating it. Like I remember they just freaking hated that. And at the time, I thought it was the coolest looking thing. I was like, oh, the art style is so up to date. Wow. But looking at it now, like I seen like a clip of it, and I'm like, oh, this doesn't really look all that good, man. Like it's interesting to seeing something new or something old, and you just think, oh yeah, this is kind of sick. Like they made it and they updated it, but now it's like, with my matured eye, I look at the lines of the drawing and everything looks sharp, and it just doesn't look like it just doesn't pop out to me. It looks very digital, I guess is the best way to say it. Digital and unsoulful. There's no soul in the lines. The lines are just straight diagonals, and it's just, there's just no soul. Hold up, my Audacity froze. Don't do it again. Oh yeah, I don't want to spoil what happened in that in case anybody's never seen it. But holy. So there's a lot to unpack in that. What else would I want to watch? Damn. I want to watch a lot of Michael Jordan highlights because I didn't really get to watch Michael Jordan play growing up. Like I remember seeing some of his later stuff, mainly in the finals. And I have a Michael Jordan's trading card from like the 90 something. I think it's from the 1997 finals. I think that's what it's from, because he doesn't have like a leg band on. But you know, I'm not that well versed in Michael Jordan history. I've watched a couple clips, but not enough. I'm gonna just binge Michael Jordan highlights, and there's a couple of channels that I've seen that are just popping. You know, like I used to watch a lot of Vince Carter highlights from VC Online. That was a online website back in the early 2000s. I tried to sign up to that site as a kid. Eat a biscuit, man. He's a teammate that I just trying to beat up real quick. And I tried to sign up to VC Online back in the 2000s, early 2000s, like mid 2000s. And I signed up for it, and it was like, you got a notification. You have to wait for somebody to identify your whatever, you know, make you a member. So I'm waiting, you know, like 2006, no, 2008 passes by, 2009 passes by, 2010, and I was like, I've never got that confirmation for being a member. And I tried to log in one day. You still have to wait for confirmation, authentication. I was like, okay, you know, my account is still probably pending. Actually, I think the website got shut down, but that's my main memory of that. But anyways, I used to watch a lot of VC highlights. I've basically seen every single game in this entire career. But I would be super interested in watching Michael Jordan. Yeah, I think that's what I want to watch. But I don't know. I guess I'm kind of scared of doing that, because I'm not really a reaction channel, so I'm kind of scared to step out into that. But you know, that's something I would like to do. That interests me. So here is me actually doing a secret element thing. It's like a real secret battle that you have to go through extreme lengths to try to find and get. This is one of the most unique battles that I have in, or one of the few, is that while it's a battle, you have like this active decaying of your HP. You know, you see the poem, inside our flesh with decay, you know. So after a certain amount of seconds, your HP decays and goes down. And you have these chests that you can collect. And the only way you can escape the room is by beating this wolf right here. And you have to collect all you can, fight him. And the fight itself is tricky because it's not a normal fight. It's a defensive fight. So you have to figure out a way to get through his defenses, which is poison and skill attacks, which decay your HP. So you have to be very specific in that, or you can muscle through him with physicals if you have the proper build and weapon combination. So you face him, and if you beat him, you reset in the fight. So you reset. The fight's not over. So you go back to the room, and the room is still decaying your HP. You collect more treasure chests. Collect more treasure chests and try to collect as much before your HP decays to 0. Heal up. Then you have the choice to face him again. You also have a choice to eliminate him. If you beat him with a lot of HP, you have a chance to like get like a backstab, or just a critical hit on him with a event choice. But you have to have enough HP to pull it off, otherwise it's going to kill you. So you know, it's different. So I don't have more than 5 HP, so I can't do it. You know, so it's just so a lot to unpack in that. It's a lot to unpack. But I have a lot of revives on me, so the weird thing is that revives don't revive you unless you're in battle. So that's weird and unfortunate. So I healed. I'm trying to get the backstab right now, but it's only like a one-time thing. You don't get to choose to do it. Yeah, boy. So what else would I want to watch? I said the original DBZ, original Dragon Ball. I kind of want to watch Bleach. If you're like me, Bleach started and ended in the Soul Society arc. Like, that's the canon ending for me. I tried to watch it through it multiple times. I tried to get through it, but I just never could get through or get past the Soul Society arc. It's crazy. It's crazy how the series always ends on all online applications and all television after the Soul Society arc. It's crazy. It's just like it just randomly just gets taken off air. It's bizarre. Like, I don't know if you guys have ever had that problem, but I've definitely ran into it multiple times. You know, so that's weird. Kind of like Naruto, how Naruto always ends after the what's it called? What's it called, man? The Genin exam, Genuine. I forgot what it's called. Genin exam. It's crazy. It always ends after the Genin exam. That's bizarre. Like, I always want to watch it through. I'm sure Naruto's site. I used to watch Naruto a lot. I tried to impress like this girl in middle school with Naruto. She was a Naruto fan. She was an anime fan in general, but she really liked Sasuke. So one day, like we were like right after when we were like in between the part where Sasuke, like, something happened to him. I'm trying not to spoil, I don't know why. And he got these marks, and he had this mark on his hand. So I drew like with a marker on my hand. This is the symbol. And I was trying to impress her. You know, like, hey, what's up? I was like, yup. And it's kind of cool. I got this tat, you know. That it did not impress her. It did not. But my drawings of him, that did impress her. So I was in there. Goddamn Naruto. I think I think I listed everything that I wanted to watch, kind of. It's gotta be something else, man. There's more out there in the world to explore. New Angry Beaver. If I could watch the Angry Beavers, Doug Funny, I was about to say Cat Dog, not Cat Dog. Hey Arnold, Doug. I don't know if I said Doug already. Rocko's Modern Life, Scooby Doo, the original. Doug, the Disney version. What else? What else is there? Keenan and Kel, Cousin Skeeter. Cousin Skeeter's kind of whatever, but you know, I haven't seen it in a long time. Action League now. You remember that? You know, that Alien show, something and Greg. Oh, the freaking the girl with the dolls. It was like the cursed 2D girl with like a something. What else was there? Oh, Recess, the greatest cartoon of all time, named after the greatest chocolate of all time. Recess is okay. Here's the spicy one. Here's a spicy little noodle. I want to watch the Avatar movie. The Avatar movie. I heard it's the dopest shit. I heard it that was the oh yeah. I want to watch the Avatar just because, but also like I've seen it before, so it's like, yeah, I don't know if I should, but that's an option. That's an option for sure. If you guys have any like shows that you think I might like based on the shows that I've listed, one thing I could tell you that I will always enjoy a show as long as the characters don't look like little punks. As long as they have like adult figures and the art looks mature enough, then I'm going to like the show. Probably. There is the results of winning the tournament is getting access to these characters, which aren't really made for the game's combat. They're just made to be enemies, but I just threw them in just for the hell of it. Just why not? The more the merrier, right? Interesting little secrets to pull off, is if you go through all the trouble to win the tournament, it'd be cool to get some sort of payoff other than money. So I say, why not just throw it in? And I tested out. From what I've tested so far, they work pretty well. They're not really that intrusive. What other shows can I? Okay. Who remembers Diary or Daria? Who remembers Daria? Oh, as told by Ginger. Someone once told me the grass was much greener on the other side. Remember that show? Damn, who was that voiced by? There was somebody that song was, I don't know if Ginger herself was voiced by her, but the song was sung by somebody that I know. Somebody that I know that I can't put my finger on it. Damn. As told by Ginger, man, that show was dope. That show was pretty dope. One of the only drama-related cartoons that I ever watched and enjoyed. So here's me, I like advanced. I skipped ahead. This is me advancing through chapter 2. Uncharted territory so far. And, I'm gonna be skipping through here because I don't think that I beat it. There's no way I beat it, there's a long way to go to beating it. Not that long to go, but longer than this. And there's, what I did, I added a third ending path, at least. A third ending path. So I added throughout, this is the biggest thing that I added. I added with those cutscenes that I added, there's a clue system where throughout the game you have to discover specific dialogue options and objects, and when you discover them and you clue them together, you get discovery points, and those discovery points affect the final battle. And depending on that, you either take an alternative path. If you don't find them, you take the alternative path that I included during this session. However, if you find and get enough clues to piece together the puzzle quote unquote, like this is that complicated of a story, but if you get enough to piece it together, then you get the true ending of the game. So there's like a little something something in there, you know, from the very beginning of the game. It's from the beginning all the way to the end. Although I want to add more, but I'm struggling with the memory space again. The memory space that is available is really cramping my style. And here is an area you hold your breath and blah blah blah. You're supposed to be underwater. So the theme here is that you're swimming through this underground area, but obviously you can't do that in RPG Maker. So all I could do is put a time limit. So there's a time limit and time factors at play. And you have to make it through this area before you run out of breath. And it's an instant game over if you can't. So, yeah, I switched to this guy. Funny enough, he actually runs faster. So it's like, you know, there's a different layer of depth that I had no intention of being there. Yeah, as told by Ginger, man. The Wild Thornberries was another show that I liked. I had a crush as a kid on I think her name's Eliza, her sister with the long hair, curly hair. Yeah, she was the one. So yeah, I think this video is about to wrap. Oh, I got a crit, nice crit. Eat that biscuit, baby. So yeah, I felt like I was underpowered for this fight. But it really is just like the stress of dealing with all the circumstances leading up to the fight. And here's where this guy, you know, I thought he would be overpowered, but he's actually not really helping. I would have preferred having my original teammate over him. Or at least maybe I just haven't figured out how to use him all that well. So yeah, damn, we talked about a lot of shows, or at least we name dropped a lot of them. Yeah, I feel like there's still more shows to be named. Boy Meets World was a show that I watched a lot, but I heard there was a new run, Girl Meets World. I haven't heard anything about that, which tells me that it probably isn't all that hot. Yeah, it tells me that it's probably not worth the time to watch. If I'm wrong on that, crucify me, feel free, but you're a bitch. But if I'm right about that, feel free to give me the dap that I deserve. But I have a feeling that show is not all that good. Because considering the times that we're in, everybody's like kind of sensitive, afraid to step on certain topics, and just the general vibe, I doubt it's going to be there. I feel like it's going to be a lot more caked up and more present time sitcoms nowadays miss the mark, whereas back in the day it kind of felt like just a slight exaggeration of real life, but enough to escape and enjoy. Whereas I feel like sitcoms today, they just kind of, it has like an opposite effect where even though they're more exaggerated, it feels less so. I don't know if that makes sense. But it misses the mark of just feeling down to earth and relatable. For me personally, the last shows that I've seen that I enjoyed was The Office, and yeah, that's pretty much it. The Office. I remember mildly liking Always Sunny in Philadelphia. This little trick healed plus 10, and yeah, that was it. That was like game over, man. Like I just, alright, man, I'm out. And like I'm out. I can't deal with this. I had it up in here, healing. Yo, man, that's about it. And gonna wrap it up here. Yeah, I couldn't beat it, but I'm gonna come back sometime in the near future, in a minute. and I'm gonna beat this game once and for all, for one of the endings at least. And with that, I bid you guys further ado. I might be back sometime soon with maybe either Parasite Eve or Legend of Dragoon. And with either case, you know, who knows, maybe it'll be Soul Edge, or maybe it'll be somewhere else, if we ever be so bold. And you know, Resident Evil is also one that I haven't given enough time to be done. So I don't know why I'm grinding, and this is probably super annoying. Yeah, I'm probably going to play Resident Evil 3 Remake soon. But with that, I bid you further ado again, and hopefully you guys have some lovely times. Peace and love. May peace be with. Always keep your heads up. Dueces, don't spill side, you'll stay cool. And if you like my content, be sure to show some love. But always and always be sure to show some love to the people that matter to you. This is ITOwl. Be cool. Peace.